Hello, beautiful souls. It is Diane Lang from Wisdom of the Akashics. Welcome and thank you very much for visiting the channel. Thank you very much for your likes, your shares, your comments, and for the twin flame clearing orders. I have to tell you that they are really unfolding beautifully. Every one of them is different. There's an underlying thread through all of them because we're all, facing the journey in some way or another. In a similar way, but the stories are different. The information that I get is different for each one of you. So, but I do dedicate the healings to everybody and to the collective and to all of us that are facing this journey and that are stepping into it in a way that we want to become empowered by it, rather than disempowered and in pain from it all of the time. And when we do the clearings on an energetic level and we, go into that fifth dimensional energy to do some of the work, certainly from my aspect, I can tell you that some amazing things are taking place, and the feedback and the comments and the stuff that you guys are sending me back is really beautiful. And it isn't to say that you're just going to come out and I'm do a clearing and you're going to go into, full high vibration, because some of it is when we call up that pain to be cleared, some of it is processing the pain. So if you are feeling that after a clearing, what I'm suggesting is when I send you the invocation that has a clearing in it and some affirmations, is when you're in the lower energetic stuff, really hammer away at the clearings. Do the clearings, do them repetitively, do them 21 days in a row, and then pick one or two of the affirmations in there. There's quite a list of them, and do one or two of them to empower you after that. And then when you're in the high vibrational energy, go in and hammer away at the invocation, because that's calling it in while you're in the vibration. It's kind of like trying to have a smile and be angry at the same time. They don't take place at the same time. You can have a false smile and a false feeling to put out into the world where you're masking how you feel, kind of go around with a smile on your face when you really feel miserable. And so that's when you do the clearings. And when you get into that place where you're naturally feeling empowered and you're vibrating and you're feeling the love and you've got a song or something that really charges you, then call in the invocation to call in your twin when you're in the high vibration. What I've been asked to do today, just before I'm getting my day started, is to do a quick 3-card reading. I'm going to pick 3 cards. And this reading is really about telling us where we're at in this journey. So as we're doing the clearings and we're doing the work and we're stepping into our truth in our twin relationships and alignment, what is it that the universe wants us to know today? Because we're at the 9th of the month, and this story, the story started was brought forward to me, I believe it was around the 30th of July is when all of this came about. I'm doing a clearing offering for the month of August. There'll be a link below for you to look at that. So the 3 cards. How beautiful. So, no surprise. And I'm really recommending this to everybody. It's been through my entire video series. I flipped the card over at 3 minutes and 33 seconds approximately, in around that time. So the first card is to love yourself first. This is so important because it's kind of like, how do we attract what we want in a divine sense if we're not loving ourselves through it? And loving ourselves means being completely vulnerable and accepting who we are. So loving the shadow parts, loving the snippety parts, loving the parts of us that are when we get into our impatience and our frustrations and things like that, just understand that they're part of your story, but you want to raise your vibration to a higher level. So that's part of what I just said to you before the card even came up. And it says your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So what this is when you love yourself first, you actually energetically create the ability to be in alignment with your highest story, your twin heart, your twin soul, your sacred partner. You know, call it what it is. I believe there's a difference between a soulmate and a twin. So that's probably something I've talked about in other videos, but I could probably do a whole video on it. But it's so key. And when people have said to me, what's been the biggest part of your twin journey? It's that I've come into such divine alignment with who I am. Everything about me wants to be a better person since I met my twin. Everything about me wants to clear away my shit, get my crap out of my closet, and create a space for him to arrive without having all of this stuff there still. And I really recommend that. That's why we work on ourselves first. So if we're in a story where it's just about the twin, about the twin, about the twin, it's really take the mirror, took back, look at yourself. What do I need to clean up, clean out of my closet, clean out of my junk mail in order to call in this relationship and partnership? Because do we really want them to come there when we're still full of our shit, and then we're just going to try, we have to play it out with them? There's a truth to some of them. We think they're not coming forward. They're actually sitting in the background waiting for us to clear our stuff. It's part of the spiritual agreement that we made with them. So that's what it's saying. Love yourself first. The second card is getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. And this is something that I did the other day. I went out and I actually went and met my twin. I went and I stopped in, and I just had I really had two things to say to him. I told him it was his birthday the day before, and I haven't been in communication with my twin at all. But in my heart, I wanted him to know that I really, was wanting to wish him the best, a happy birthday and all, but I had something I wanted to share with him from my heart. And when I walked into his office that day, he turned around and he completely faced me, looked directly up, lit up, smiled, and engaged me, where the time before when I went in, his head was down. He didn't even turn towards me. He listened to me, but oh yeah, okay. And he turned around when I asked him to, and I'd actually asked him to turn around that day. And that's when I realized that's the time when I told you he really looked poor. He looked unhealthy. He looked tired. He was gray. His face was gray. He had no color. He's lost weight. And I just left there with such sadness in my heart that day, because I saw him without life force. And I bring life force to him. We bring it to each other. I talk about that. It's like getting plugged into a light socket when we come into each other's physical space, or we catch each other, versus him driving by, where we actually meet each other in our cars, where we get to look up at each other and smile and do this like, woo, we just saw each other, and we break up into smiles. So this getting to know each other is revealing your inner self. I did that with him the other day. I had two things I said I wanted to tell him. In addition to I went in a happy birthday, but I want to tell you something. And I told him, and he just took it in, and I didn't go, I want to tell you two things and then stay for 15 things, or I didn't expand on them. I just expressed my feelings for him. I expressed how I feel for him fully from my heart. So I revealed my inner self to him, and it was powerful. It was powerful for him just in his physical reaction and his body language. And he fully accepted what I said to him. And when I go and I see him, he just stares into my eyes. It's as if we connect that way. I know we do. We always have from the very first moment. But it's like he's searching. He's searching to really want to be present in this. He sees my love for him through my eyes. So getting to know each other, you can get to know each other in the fifth dimension. I teach this. I love this work because this is where I spend more of my time. I don't see him very much anymore. But we are deeply connected energetically in the fifth dimension. So I go into that place when I do the clearings for you. But go into that place. Call it in and say, I want to come and talk to you, honey. I want to let you know how I feel. I want to tell you what scares me. I want to know what I'm processing today. I have some fears and doubts, and I want to know how you feel when I share them with you. And as you do that, you will hear someone coming back to speak to you. And he speaks to me in the exact words and languages that he used, and I speak to him in the languages that I use, because we speak differently. The wording that he uses is different than the wording I use. And the final card, and this is where we have to have patience. This is where we have to have full 10-10. This is where we have to have patience. That he, for certainly in my life, and they're telling us, is worth waiting for. The universe is saying this divine relationship is worth waiting for. I'm not telling you that everybody, that the exact person that you think is going to be the highest story in your heart is going to be the person, this person. For me, it is, but I have the clarity around that. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Divine timing is at work in your love life. This is where faith and trust comes in. And I just shared with somebody that when we say, I hope I align with, or I hope I meet my twin, or I hope we get together, hope was taught to me as being the absence of faith. Faith is the trust, trust is the presence of faith. So I trust I'm going to come in divine union with my sacred partner. I trust we are going to clear all the blocks and restrictions keeping us from one another. I trust I am going to feel better tomorrow, better tomorrow than I feel today. I trust I can raise my vibration. If we say I hope, we are saying it, but it's like there's something absence when we just hope. I hope he comes. I hope we get together. I hope that. Bring that into a higher level of vibration and add in the word trust and go into the presence of faith. Faith is powerful. And when you use the language of faith, you will feel more empowered. And practice it. Practice how you feel when I say I hope, and then add a sentence to it. And then say the sentence, I trust. I have full faith in divine timing. I have full faith in God's assistance to bring us together. So this is the video for today. Thank you. God bless you. If you are interested in the clearings, there's some other videos about them in terms of what they're really about. If you want to understand who I am and how I work and what it is when I work in your field, and some of the other things, and I have really advanced programs over the twin flame clearings, but go and watch those if you want to know more about them, or just order one, and then I'll send you a note and ask you for a bit of information. And I'm getting them done typically within 3 days. I think I've extended 1 or 2 of them to 4 days, because I've also been having issues with my internet coming in and out and it's funny. I'll give you one quick story. The universe works in funny ways, and it can often try to keep us from our truth and our path. And this is when we find out where the rubber hits the road. My internet stopped working last Wednesday, right after I really started fully getting into these clearings. They came, fixed, it went out. Yesterday, the gentleman came, and he said, it's so weird. I was up they went up into the pole to look at the service from up there, because they could see that it's not connecting in the house. And he said, it's like, and I do a lot of cutting and severing with cords and ties. And so he said it's weird, because one of the connections, it looks like somebody had ripped, this is his wording, he ripped the cord right out of the box. And I said, do you think that was an accident or by intent? And he goes, well, you have to go all the way up the pole, and there's electricity and everything up there. However, there was somebody up there last Wednesday, and he goes, well, I think it's an accident. But he said it was ripped right out. It was like somebody wanted to do a full disconnect. And he said, that's what's affecting you. That's what's affecting your line. That's why you're not able to stay in constant communication. I'm like, get out of my way. You don't get to have this story. The story is the empowerment of the spiritual warriors and goddesses that are coming forth to do this work, to step into this story, to stay in the love vibration, to heal the lower energies. So he's going back up there. Somebody different is coming. They are correcting. They're plugging that cord back in. But for my life and my story, and knowing that how things play out, it was just so interesting that he used that language. And he said, literally, just like somebody just ripped out the cord. We are cutting and severing from the lower programs that are keeping us from our twin. So go ahead and cut out the cords. Do it. Have at it. But we are reconnecting. We are not staying in there. We want to disconnect from those programs. So that can be representative of that. But we want to stay in the vibrational alignment of reconnecting, realigning, reestablishing our relationship with our twin at 1515. That's come up 3 times in a video. So God bless. Have a beautiful day. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your vibration of love. If you do the clearings with me, or if you do the invocations, if I've given you that's part of your work that you get with me. Clear when you're in a lower vibration, and embrace when you're in the higher vibration. Use the clearings when you want to get out of the stuck energy, and go embrace the love and the vibration when you do the invocation to call them in. You can reach me at wisdomoftheakashics@gmail.com. The website that I've created for these clearings will be listed below. Come to my Facebook page at facebook.com/Wisdom of the Akashics and like my page, and then you'll get updates and stuff like that go along. They're just warm, fuzzy things on a daily basis, and little sayings that I pick up and I expand on. And as we grow that page, it gets more visibility. It brings more people into the twin flame experience. I do everything in the vibration of the whole. So being in the story at all, you are in the vibration of clearing and love. But if you want specific energy work done in your story, then reach out to me for that. God bless everybody. Have a wonderful day. Thank you from the Akashic Healing Room. And may God guide you to your highest and best union with the highest and divine soul that is meant to be with you on the earth. Diane Lang, Wisdom of the Akashics.